Hello everyone, today we are going to look at my new studio watercolor palette. I had another one, but it was with too many reds and blues and greens and yellows, so I decided to change it to mostly earth tones and also some mixing primaries. So the first color we'll look at is titanium white. It's a pigment PW6. It's from Schmincke. It's a nice, clean and easy to re-wet titanium white. Next color will be Daniel Smith pearlescent white, which is made from mica. It's a pearlescent color. Next are two PW6 column ones. One is gray titanium and the other one will be buff titanium. I want to try to use more the gray titanium and we'll see if I like it. And the buff titanium I love for a long time. So both of them are PW6 column 1. Next color is lemon yellow, PY175. I prefer this one on more than Hansa Yellow Light. It's very beautiful and clean. Next is nickel azo yellow, PY150, good mixing color. Next color will be quinacridone gold, PY150 and PO48. I use it a lot for mixing and to add a little bit more, a brighter earth yellow to the painting. Next color will be Hansa Yellow D PY65. I was debating if to put this one or Aussie Red Gold, but I decided on this one because it's better mixer. Next color is transparent purple orange PO71. A very beautiful, quite bright orange, but it's very earthy also. Next is quinacridone sienna PR209, PO48 and PY150. Beautiful color, I love it. It's very earthy and I like it also as a mixer, even though it has three pigments in it. It's very beautiful. Next is Deep Scarlet PR175, a beautiful earthy warm red. I love it, I use it a lot. I like to create lavenders and darks with it. Next is Anthracenoid Scarlet PR168, very soft scarlet red. Next is Green Coral PR209, a good mixing color. It's warm, it's mustone and cool when diluted, very beautiful. Next is Perlin Maroon PR179. It's a color I don't use a lot, but I intend to use it more, so that's why it's on my palette. Next is Potter's Pink. It's a Schmincke color. It's very beautiful, PR233, and I use it to add textures to rocks and earth and so on. It's very low tinting strength and very granulating. Next color will be Pyrrole Crimson PR264, a very useful mixer. It's good to replace Anthracenoid red, which is not light fast, in the Moonglow mix. So this Pyrrole Crimson is light fast and it's very nice. Next is Quinacridone Red PV19. It's my mid to cool red. Then it's Queen Rose Magenta PR 122 from Rembrandt. I think it's the most clean and beautiful PR 122. I'm sorry, PR 122 that I know. Next is Winsor & Newton Cobalt Violet PV 14. I wrote accidentally PV 15, but it's PV 14. Next is Quinacridone Violet from Daniel Smith PV 19. I was debating if to put this color or not, but it's a great mixer, so I left it in my palette. Next is an earthy violet Naphthalmide Maroon PR 171. I only saw this color, this pigment, in the Daniel Smith brand, and it's very beautiful. Next is a color that I love, Amethyst Genuine. It's a bit sparkly, and it's kind of an earthy, violet-y, purplish color. Very beautiful in mixes with greens. Next is Ultramarine Violet PV15. I love this color. It's the Daniel Smith PV15, and I like it with cobalt blue in different proportions. Really love this color. Next is Lavender. It's quite an opaque color, very beautiful color. Next is Winsor & Newton Smart Blue Hue PV15. It's a very bright kind of ultramarine blue, and it's quite purple. It's between blue and purple, and yeah, I like it. Next is a color I use a lot, Sodalite Genuine, a Primatech from Daniel Smith, very granulating, very dark, and I use it instead of Payne's Gray. Beautiful. Next is Indanthrone Blue PB60. I use this color to mix quick darks. Very beautiful. It's also beautiful sometimes as a sky color. Next is Ultramarine Blue PB29. And it's my granulating warm blue. Next is Cobalt Blue PB28. It's mid-tone blue. It's granulating, very beautiful. I love it for sky, and also with a color we'll see later named Sedona Genuine. They are great combination. Next is Fate-Lo Blue Red Shade PB16. PB15 column 6. It's kind of a warmer Fate-Lo blue. Very beautiful. I like the sap greens and the moss greens it creates with lemon yellow and Nicolazo yellow. Next color is Schmincke Cobalt Azure. It's PB35, and I like it for sky and lots of rivers and lakes, and also for mixing. Next is a color that looks not in its place. It's because there was another color there, and I exchanged it with the Amazonite Genuine, a very beautiful tealish green. Really beautiful. I love it. It's kind of aqua green color. Next is Fate-Lo Blue Green Shade PB15 column 3. Very useful color. I really love it with Venetian Red PR101. They're beautiful together. Next is Manganese Blue U PB15. A very granulating blue, great for skies and lakes. Next is Phthalo Blue Turquoise PB16. It's a Daniel Smith color. It's my smooth turquoise in this palette. Next is Schmincke Cobalt Turquoise PG50. I prefer it on the Daniel Smith one because it's less granulating, so it's better in mixes because the colors are less separating than with the Daniel Smith PG50. Next is Daniel Smith Cobalt Turquoise PB36. I love this color. It's amazing mixer. It has beautiful granulation. I really love it. Next is the Daniel Smith Viridian PG18. The colors that I don't say Daniel Smith before them are Daniel Smith unless I say it's another brand. It's a nice color. It's a great mixer, and I use it instead of Phthalo green blue shade as a granulating green. Next is Daniel Smith Cascade Green PB15 PBR7. It's a raw sienna with manganese blue U, I think. I'm not sure, but I think. Very beautiful. Next is Phthalo Blue red shade, Phthalo Green blue shade PG7. A wonderful mixing color, very intense. I like to mix up green with Hansa Yellow Deep and this color, and also I like to mix it with Queen Sienna and Transparent Parallel Orange to create olive greens. Next color is Jadeite Genuine, a beautiful granulating dark foresty green, and the Opside Genuine, which is something between a grass green to the Jadeite. Very beautiful color. I use it a lot. It brings it mixes some kind of halo, which I like. Next color is Phthalo Green Yellow shade PG36. I really love this color as a mixer, and I mix it with a Fired Gold Ochre to create really beautiful greens. It's quite bright, so you can mix bright greens with it. Next is Perylene Green PBK31. It's great for shadows in the woods and in herbs and plants, and also as a mixer. Next is Zoisite Genuine. I did beautiful granulating dark green gray. It has beautiful granulation. Now we'll see Undersea Green. It's made of PB29, PO48, PY150, and I use this color a lot in landscapes. It also has beautiful color separation. We'll see it later in the photos. Next is Green Appetite Genuine, a beautiful sappy mossy color. It has beautiful separation of pigments. Next is Rich Green Gold PY129, a very useful mixing color, and I also like it on its own. It looks like some kind of muddy yellow, and it's beautiful. It's quite bright, and I like it sometimes instead of Quinacridone Gold. Next is Schminka Rutail Yellow PY53. It's a quite opaque yellow, and I like to use Rutail Yellow like buff titanium with to make other colors more pastel-y. It's very beautiful with blues, of course. Next is Titanium Gold Ochre from Schminka PBR 24. I love this color. Very soft, very opaque. Next color will be Mars Yellow from Daniel Smith PY42. It's a creamy kind of yellow ochre. And I think it's softer than the color next we'll see, which is transparent yellow oxide. Transparent yellow oxide has interesting granulation. It's quite a brownish granulation with golden ochre mass tone, and it dries quite harsh. Next is Monte Amiata Natural Sienna PBR7. I love it. It's great raw sienna. And Burgundy Yellow Ochre PY43, which is a beautiful color. It's something between transparent yellow oxide to goethite brown ochre. Next is Yellow Ochre PY43. It's quite transparent and creamy, and it's a bit more brownish than regular yellow ochres. It creates grays with ultramarine blue. Next is French Ochre PY43, a low tinting color, but very beautiful, very granulating. Next is Rose Sienna PBR7, a granulating orangish, brownish rose sienna. Very useful color. Next is Goethite Brown Ochre. It's a color that I love for its granulation and color separation. PY43, beautiful color for sand and rocks. Next is Yavapai Genuine Natural Brown Ochre. It's a Primatech. It's a nice mid-tone brown. Very granulating, of course. Between these two brown ochres, I prefer the Goethite. Next is Bronzite Genuine. It's a Primatech from Daniel Smith, and it's very sparkly, and I love it. I use it for rocks, and I love it with me in mixes, also with blues. Next is Burnt Bronzite Genuine, another Primatech. It's a bit more reddish than the Bronzite Genuine, and also very sparkly, and I like it for rocks in the south of Israel, in the Arava area. Next is environment-friendly Yellow Iron Oxide PBR6, a really beautiful color. And you can see the yellow coming out in the middle of this watch. We'll see it later in the photos. Really beautiful color. Next is Lunar Earth PBR11, a very granulating color. It's kind of a burnt sienna color with lots of harsh granulation. Next color is Quinacridone Burnt Orange PO48. I understand that this color will be discontinued, so I have to buy another tube of it. And it's a very nice, smooth, kind of brownish, orangish color. And it's the partner in quinacridone gold. Next is Queen Burnt Scarlet PR206. There are rumors that this is also discontinued, so I will have to buy a tube for this one also. Next is Burnt Sienna Light. It's a mix of PR101 and PR48. The PR101 here will be transparent red oxide. Very beautiful color. Next is Terra Ercolano. It's PBR7 Raw Sienna with PR101 Venetian Red. A very beautiful, soft, reddish, orangish earthstone. Next is Pompeii Red, PBR7. It's quite a harsh color with lots of granulation. It's a brown red, PBR7. Next is English Red Ochre, PR101. It's a nice brown color. It's hard a little bit to rivet, so always put a dot of color or dot of water on the half pan. Next is the transparent iron oxide PR101. It's a great granulating mixing color, great for mixing blacks with ultramarine blue or indent blue. Next is a Manmei bauxite. It's a natural iron oxide. It's very close in hue to the Daniel Smith Italian Burnt Sienna, but it's cheaper, Series 1, and the Italian Burnt Sienna is Series 2. Next is Sedona Genuine Natural Iron Oxide. It's a beautiful granulating orangish red earthstone. It's very beautiful. It's very soft also. Next is Daniel Smith Burnt Sienna PBR7. It's a bit of reddish brown in the mastone, and it has a pinkish, peaches, more pinkish undertone when diluted. Next is enviro-friendly red iron oxide PBR6. A beautiful red brown. It's more reddish or violetish than burnt sienna. Next is Minnesota genuine, Minnesota pipestone genuine. It's genuine catlinite, and it's very beautiful. I love it. Next is English Red Ochre PR101. English Red Ochre is a bit low tinting strength and really hard to rivet, but it's quite beautiful. It is quite pinkish, and it gives variety for the earthstones. Next is Garnet Genuine, a beautiful Primatech from Daniel Smith. Actually, when you smell it, it smells like real garnet gemstone in water. It's really interesting. If you have garnet, the gemstone, you can try and see. I love this color. I use it a lot. It's a bit granulating, but very little. Next is permanent brown PBR25, another color that I love. With Sodola Genuine, it creates a quick black. Very beautiful, non-granulation deep brown, but it has something interesting in its texture. Next is Fire Gold Ochre PR102. Another quite reddish brown, and Burnt Yellow Ochre PR102, another very reddish brown, and it's a bit softer than the other browns. Sorry. Next is Venetian Red, PR101. It's even softer than Burnt Yellow Ochre. Next is Red Jasper Genuine Primatech from Daniel Smith. I didn't like it in the beginning, but now I like it more. Next color is Indian Red PR101. It's very soft, kind of violet iron oxide. Next color is Lunar Red Rock, PR101. Although on the tube it's written something like red hematite, and it's quite confusing because PR101s are synthetics and red hematite is kind of supposed to be PR102. So I don't know why they wrote it this way. Next is the Piemontite Genuine, a very beautiful kind of lunar red rock, but it's a genuine semi-precious stone, very beautiful dark brown with reddish undertone. Next is Hematite Violet. It has really some kind of black granulation and peach undertone. You'll see the peach undertone in the middle of the swatch. Next is Jane's Gray PB29 PBR7. It's the Burnt Sienna PBR7. A beautiful dark. It's beautiful for shadows and as a Payne's Gray and for sky. Next is Lunar Violet PV15, PBK11, beautiful color, and Bloodstone Genuine, genuine color, very granulating dark. It's not completely black, it's more kind of violet-y black, very beautiful. Next is Hematite Burnt Scarlet, Primatech again, and I love it. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It has some peachish undertone and it's a dark brown in its mouth tone. It has beautiful granulation and color separation. Next is Transparent Brown Oxide, PR101 at Great Mixer. It's very granulating, burnt amberish color. Very beautiful. Next is the Real Burnt Amber PBR7, a beautiful yellowish brown. Very beautiful. And I love to mix darks with it and ultramarine blue. Next is Raw Amber PBR7. It's a kind of more greenish amber, but not as green as the one after it. It's very useful color for mixing greens and for tree trunks in the horizons. Next is Greenish Amber from Rembrandt PBR8. I love this color. It has beautiful color separation. Really beautiful. Next is Burnt Tiger's Eye Genuine. It's a color that I like for one color paintings. It's really beautiful. It's very granulating. It's kind of a violet-y dark brown. And yeah, I like it. It's great for one color painting. Next color is another Primatech Kyanite Genuine. It's quite sparkly and it's a dark blue. In my last video I shared with you some swatches and color mixing with it, so look at it if you want. Next is Blue Apatite Genuine, another Primatech, very beautiful blue that I use mostly as a Payne's Gray and sometimes for skies and lakes, especially when it's quite cloudy. It was all the time mixing with the Indian Red that wasn't dry yet. It's a beautiful color. Next is Payne's Gray PB29 PBK9, and it's a great color for one color painting. Next is Hematite Genuine, a granulating black. It has very beautiful granulation. So that's all for today. I hope you like my palette, my studio palette. Have a wonderful time and happy painting. Bye.